Hi everyone, welcome back to the Scrap Zone. I'm Julie. Welcome back to my 52 weeks project. In this video, we're going to look at week 41 and 42. Now, these are going to go inside my book as a double page spread. So I'm going to work on these two layouts right here. And when I do that, I like to work on both at the same time. So I've done some pre-cutting, and then I realized that, oh, I cut all my pennants and I didn't really show you a little trick here. You probably know this, but if you do not, I like to double up on my cardstock so that I know they're exactly the same, and then you just cut straight into the center, just like so, and then you just cut towards that center cut on an angle, and you have a perfect pennant every time. And in this case, I have two. So I did that for all of those little pennants. I'm going to come back with my stamp set that I've been using throughout this book, and I'm going to bring some wood stickers, and I'm going to look at my stickers too. I am using the pumpkin spice leftovers that I have, and I'm going to try and fit this sticker right up here. So at this point in the process, I was working on week 41 and I didn't have my pictures yet for week 42. So we're going to set that aside. I'm just going to get that out of the way, and we are going to work on week 41. Now I might use this stamp image right here. Not sure yet at this point in the game. So let's do the background. I'm stamping mink on mink cardstock, and you only have to do the top and the bottom. Now I've been using this stamp set throughout this project, and it works for pretty much any color, any layouts. So if you have a really good background stamp set that you like, it is perfect for this project. So I'm going to go ahead here and add a little bit of ink distressing on all of the edges. I just find that it completes the look. And we're going to pop those pieces right onto that base. So that is a 6x8 base. I'm going to look here on the side of my mat. I'm going to bring that down 2 inches, and I'm going to put the pattern paper right here. So working with your mat is really good because you don't have to measure. If you don't like to measure, this is a really good tool to have. So I'm going to pop my little pictures right here. I don't know where you are in the world, but we have tons of mushrooms sprouting everywhere in October. So I thought that it would be kind of cute to add them into my little book. And this photo here, credit goes to my husband. He was inside the car, and this leaf was on the windshield. So he thought he'd take a picture of it, and it looks like it's in flight. So I thought that was a pretty cool picture to add to this week. I'm just going to add all of my pennants here at the bottom, and I've just randomly put them in different orders by width and by height. And if they're too long, you can always trim them down. And then they just look really, really nice. It's just a really nice little accent at the bottom of the page. So let's dig into our scraps, because that's what this project is all about. So I'm going to pull out some of those wood stickers. And I found that those wood stickers, I had a lot of tiny little ones, and they actually turned out really great on this page. So I've got a few little leaves, and I didn't want them to upstage my photo. So I'm just looking for something small to give it a little bit of embellishment, but not too much. So we're going to add one up here, and oh, I think I have another one. There was tons of them on this sheet, so I'm really glad that I'm using up all of my scraps to complete this page this week. So that looks pretty good. So as I mentioned before, when I know it's going to be a double page spread inside the book, I kind of like to work with both of them side by side, just to kind of get a flow going from the left side to the right side. So I am going to put my little weeks at the bottom, my little tiles. So I did the week 41 here at the bottom, and I'm going to add my little wood stickers. Now these are super sticky, and they can be a little tricky to peel off that backing, so if you use your piercing tool, I found that that worked the best for me. And once it's down, it's down. It's not coming back up. So make sure you know where you want to stick that little guy down, because they are super sticky. So we're going to finish this off with a couple of gems. So I'm adding here a couple of gold gems just to add a little bit of flair to the page. Now October here for us is kind of in the morning, it's gray and raining. In the afternoon, it's bright and sunny and orange. You'll see in my next photos. So I'm going to work on page or on week 42. And as I said, these are double pages inside the book. So I decided to put both video together. And this is how I store my cut pieces for the next week if I'm ahead of the game and I pre-cut everything. So we're going to do week number 42, and here are my afternoon pictures, and they're quite orange and really, really pretty. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to ink distress all of the pieces with mink ink. I'm going to pull my all-purpose mat and I'm going to flip it over on the spongy side, and I am going to stamp once again that background. And I found that when you have a little bit of a cushion, it makes it tiny bit easier for you to stamp that. So I'm just going to start right here at the top, and I'm going to line it up as best as I can. And if it's not lined up perfectly, don't worry, you're not going to see it. Once you put your photos and you put your pattern paper and your cardstock, it really doesn't show if there's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to add that right here at the bottom. And then I'm going to ink distress the edges. So you can see here, if I left it this way, it kind of looks unfinished. So by adding just a tiny little bit of ink, I find that it really completes this look. So I'm going to start building this page, and you'll see that I'll keep on pulling my left page back just to make sure that everything is nice and straight. I'm going to trim my photos here. They are 3 by 3, and you can get 2 on one sheet. That is normally for a 4 by 6 photo. So I'm just going to trim these down, and I do like to print them if I've got time the night before so that they're nice and dry, and when I'm kind of playing around with them and putting them on my page, I try not to put my fingers on them, but as you can see here, it doesn't always happen. So make sure that you let them dry overnight is best. And then you can just go ahead and build your layout. So I'm going to add my 2 photos right here, and you can tell that there's a lot of orange, and that was the afternoon, and on the other side was more of morning shots. So October is quite different here, depending on what time of the day you go out for your walks. So I really like how this is turning out. And I'm going to add my little pattern paper right here at the bottom, and I'm going to mimic what I did on the left side. So I'm going to add all of my little pennants, and I did ink distress all of those. So I'm going to start here with this one, and then I'm going to just randomly put them on. I'm not really following the same pattern, but something similar. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to add my little weeks right here at the bottom. And then, yeah, let's look at that sticker again. Remember I said that I wanted to use it on this side of the page? Now I could, but it's really hiding that photo. So depending on the photo, because on week 41, I did not know what photo was going to go on this side. So I thought, okay, let's pull out this image from the Months of the Year stamp set. Although there's a lot of Halloween, this one here I think is going to work really, really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead here and stamp that. So I did stamp that with Harbor ink because the mat that's in back of my photo is Harbor as well. And I'm going to color these with my tri-blend markers. And you can see that I've got a little sample sheet right beside me, and I use that all the time to pick the colors that best match the layout and the colors that I'm working with. So I did use burnt orange, gold brown, yellow green, and dull green. So those are, to me, the colors that matched the most with the layout that I was working on today. And the fact that it's stamped with Harbor ink, it just kind of completes the look, and it really matches the photo mat that I have going on at the back. So I'm just going to finish this off very quickly, and I did add a few shading, a few highlights, nothing too much, like just a few here and there, and it just looked really, really nice. I was really surprised on how this came together so quickly, and that Harbor color made it look really good. So we're going to finish off these little leaves in the center. And the center here is done with that gold brown, the darkest shade. And then I'm just going to go back with a little bit of green. I'm going to fussy cut this image. I'm just going to go around. It's quite easy actually to fussy cut. So I'm just going to go like that. And then I'm going to tuck it right here at the top. And you see it looks really good, like it's not interfering with my photo. It's just sitting there really pretty. I've given it you know, a nice spot on my double layout. And I'm going to go back to my little wood stickers and just peel a few off and add them to this layout. I'm going to add a few gems so you can see that I'm working with that left page, so that, you know, I kind of continue on from the left to the right so that there's a nice flow. I'm going to add my little 42 weeks. And these two layouts are pretty much done. I'm going to add a tiny little bit of journaling, as you can see, just two little strips. I like the way that that sticker turned out, or that stamped image I should say. And we're done. We're all caught up for the month of October. So as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to take pictures. I'll catch you in the next video.